and welcome back to my channel. So glad that you are here. So yeah, we're going to be getting into a little bit of a weekly roundup, and it's going to be pretty much a 90 Day Fiance edition. Now, 90 Day Fiance, for those of you who love to watch 90 Day Fiance, has been around for quite some time. So this is going to be more particular to those who have been gracing our screens with the 90 Day franchise through the happily ever after and beyond. So we are going to be talking about Kalani and the meaning behind the name of her new bundle of joy. We're also going to be dipping back into a little bit of Angela Deem and Mykol as their train wreck of a marriage continues to ensue. We're also going to get a little bit of the take for Skylar, which is Angela's daughter, as you may be fully aware of if you are watching the franchise. And we're also going to dip in a little bit with Jasmine and Gino as well. So if you're interested in the franchise, you may be fully aware of their presence on the show as well. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into Miss Kalani. Now, I have to say that I feel like Kalani is living her best life. Now, if you've been watching the franchise, you will know that Kalani has had a very tumultuous relationship with her husband. I don't think that they're fully divorced at this moment, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But Asuelo. And it's been just really one thing after another with that coupling. I had felt that they were probably not going to make it. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, right? But I really didn't feel that there was a strong union there because it just didn't come, I don't think, from a place of where strength could actually build. Sometimes when you have girl trips or trips beyond where you're just hanging out and the full possibility of just having a good time, it should really just stay there and you don't bring anything back. Now, you might also know that Kalani had shared that I believe that she was a virgin all the way up until she went to her girls' trip, and that's how she met Asuelo. And the rest is in 90 days history. So we do know that we saw Kalani also most recently, her and Asuelo, in The Last Resort, which is one of the newer versions of the 90 Day franchise. And at the end, she had made the decision, rather than to stay with him, would be to go ahead and move forward with the divorce. We do find out that, Asuelo had multiple infidelity issues, and it just took its toll between that and everything else that was going on in the marriage. It just wasn't what it needed to be. And quite frankly, Asuelo had a whole lot of growing up to do. Now, that being said, through one of those situations in which Kalani had confronted Asuelo about his infidelity, he had shared that, she, because of what he had did, and his guilt, thought, well, to give you a chance, have a bit of an opportunity, if you wish, and to go outside the marriage yourself, if you choose so to do so, kind of a hall pass type of thing. And the thing is that Kalani actually did take him up on that, and then actually apparently fell into somewhat of love with the person that she decided to have that one night situation happen with, and it's bloomed into a relationship fully on, as well as now bloomed on into her third child, which is a beautiful baby girl. So we're going to get into that sharing from Miss Kalani. Let's see. So according to InTouch.com, 90 Day Fiance's Kalani reveals baby girl's name and meaning after welcoming daughter with Dallas, which is the new boo. 90 Day Fiance star Kalani Fagata shocked fans when she secretly welcomed her first child with boyfriend Dallas Nuez. And she is now revealing their daughter's name and meaning. I thought that would be quite fun. There we go, seeing Kalani and her just happiness. Now, Kalani, 36, took to Instagram on Monday, and this was on July 8th that she actually did this, to share 4 adorable photos of her daughter, while the baby's name was revealed on a sign on the final slide that read Messina B. In the photos, Messina cuddled under a pink blanket and looked adorable with the pink bow on her head. And it's so sweet because, she has 2 boys already. So she later shared insight about the inspiration for the name in her Instagram stories. Messina is a girl's name of Samoan origin, meaning moon. It's a variant of Salmacina, the name of Samoan queen, and Kalani wrote about her baby's first name. This is what she shared with, which I think is really touching and sweet because it goes to her heritage. You know, her father is Samoan as well. And so it's just really enriched with a lot of, I think, beauty within that and recognizing. So meanwhile, she explained that her middle name has a personal connection to her sister Kalani and, or Kalani, I think is how she says that, and mother Lisa. B is my sister's nickname and my mom's favorite creature, laughing out loud, Kalani shared. Now, which 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After Season 8 couple is your favorite? I would love to know. So go ahead and drop that down in the comment section below. Shortly after Kalani had announced her daughter's name, several fans had rushed to the comment section to gush about how cute Messina is. Beautiful angel, what a gorgeous little one. I have been over the moon with joy for you. You are so deserving of all the happiness life has to give. So many blessings of life and love from me to you. One social media user had wrote, and another had added, she's so beautiful, runs in the family, I guess. And yeah, they do have beautiful people in their family. Kalani, who is also the mother of sons Oliver 7 and Kennedy 5, with ex-Asuela Koala, announced that she and Dallas 29 had welcomed their first child on June 4th. Meet our daughter, she said. The TLC personality captioned several adorable photos attached with that of the newborn via Instagram. And if you have seen that, you more certainly can drop that down below as well. Fans were first introduced to Kalani during her several appearances on the TLC franchise alongside Asuelo 29. They most recently appeared on season 1 of the 90 Day, The Last Resort, as I shared earlier, as viewers had watched them try to save their marriage. But after explaining that Asuelo cheated on her during a trip to his native Samoa in 2022, Kalani said he offered her a hall pass to kiss someone else. Dallas eventually became her hall pass, though their kiss escalated to relations and they developed feelings for each other. After Kalani and Asuelo's split was documented during the season finale in October 2023, she had confirmed she was still dating Dallas. I waited a year for this, she wrote alongside a photo of her boyfriend in the ocean. Less than 1 month after she gave birth, Kalani revealed how she told Dallas that she was pregnant. She basically says, we're in New York for the 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way Tell-All. She recalled by participating in Q&A via Instagram on June 19th. She had added that she was newly pregnant while filming the tell-all in December 2023, which was hard for her. She said, I was super nauseous and trying to hide it, she shared. Now, during the same Q&A session, Kalani insisted that she was done having children. When asked if she had planned to have more babies, the mother of 3 simply had said no. And as you can see, to a great surprise, that wasn't the case. And I'm fully happy for Kalani and her family. I think this is a true blessing for them. I hope that things work out with the, full separation between her and Asuelo, because that does need to happen so that can be in the past and she can move forward, and hopefully they have a good co-parenting situation. I'm sure some would probably not be too keen on the way that she's handling the situation by, kind of leaping into a new relationship with not being completely finished with her first one. But it seems like she's on her way to doing that. And maybe it's just a matter of paperwork at this point in time. So hopefully we will see maybe a little bit more of Kalani and her new ventures somewhere down the line. But if not, we do wish her well. And congratulations to her new bundle of joy and to the new addition to the family. I could only imagine everybody must be over the moon. And it does seem like Kalani seems a lot lighter these days in the face and in the spirit. She just seems so much happier with Dallas, even though we may not know a lot about Dallas. Obviously, he's bringing her a lot of great joy, and also in abundance with legacy. So congratulations to Kalani. And let's go ahead and move on to our next story, because we know we want to start off with the good, and then we're going to hit with the bump in the road. And that is Mykol and Angela. All right, so let's get on into this sharing. Oh, no, wait, whoa, where did this couple come from? No, we need to back that up. So we're not just talking about just the few that I shared earlier. We're also talking about Pedro, because I was kind of wondering what was going on with him. So let's go and get into that story. Now, according to ScreenRant.com, what happened to Pedro Jimeno after the Family Chantel season 5? Yeah, let's figure that out. Now, in 2024, after the Family Chantel season 5, Pedro Jimeno's working as a real estate agent in the Peach State, Georgia, USA. Good for him. And trying to put his messy split with Chantel Everett behind him, the family Chantel is now over, and its cast members are adjusting to life outside the spotlight. Pedro, Chantel, and other cast members, including Chantel's parents, Thomas and Karen Everett, still get plenty of attention online. Also, the 90 Day Fiancé spinoff series that made them household names cast a long shadow. The shade Pedro's gotten because he left Chantel hasn't stopped him from pursuing his goals, but maybe it's hindered him. Now, Pedro's image has changed so much since his 90 Day Fiancé stint. The handsome guy from the Dominican Republic once seemed sweet. Now it's easy to wonder if he ever loved Chantel at all. He may have planned to leave her all along. It's been a while since the Family Chantel Season 1 premiere aired in October 2021, when Season 5 wrapped in December 2023. Pedro was considered a cross between Darth Vader and Don Juan. The shade Pedro's gotten because he left Chantel hasn't stopped him from pursuing his goals, but maybe again it has hindered him. Pedro still got a sense of humor in 2024. Well, his cute IG post about Hispanic parents was a hit apparently amongst those who follow him. I guess he shared that, yes, the consensus among the Family Chantel fans is that Pedro's a heartless, womanizing scumbag. But he still has his supporters, not to mention his sense of humor. Apparently in an Instagram post shown, he had shared a lighthearted look at mispronouncing words. He said, be sure to watch it as it's quite amusing. Of course, nothing less, Pedro was blasted by a commenter that had said of that post, just so you know, it was your family that hurt your marriage. Chantel's family came around and accepted you, but your family never did. The marriage ended because of you. So as you can see, it looks like, you know, the support remains firmly behind Chantel and her family situation. Now, Pedro's heard all this before and probably doesn't believe it. Of course he doesn't. Everyone's the hero of their story. Sure, he has haters, but Pedro's proud of his Hispanic heritage, and he should be, and I would agree with that. And that is separate and apart from the situation. So let's move forward. There's nothing wrong with making fun, little jokes on Instagram while he's the baddie of season 5. There's more to Pedro than meets the eye. Also, he may have gotten the proverbial villain edit. People are blinded to the fact that he might have had valid issues too. Most fans don't want to consider his point of view. I don't know if that's necessarily true per se. I mean, that's not my take on that, but let's continue. In the Family Chantel Season 5, there were some extremely harsh moments, including a wrenching scene where Chantel had to stare at the man who left her while sitting at the conference table. The romance was dead, as seen in the video that was shared within this story. All that was left was the business of splitting up. They needed to sell the home they had shared, which I think they had only been in for like a few months. Pedro wanted to sell the property because he was a real estate agent after all. And however, Chantel wouldn't give him that power. She felt totally betrayed, as seen in the clip that was provided in the sharing as well, and in the show, if you had actually seen it. And in another scene, she had bitterly summed up her point of view by saying, I know you cheated on me. Now, in 2024, he's making fans listen while he's turned off comments in his past. He is currently allowing them. Some people are actually rooting for him as he tries to sell houses and condos in Georgia. Pedro's confidence rarely falters. However, it's very likely that the monster Pedro is hurt by what's been said. Nothing less, he's strong enough to survive. He seems to believe in himself. He's interested in crushing his goals. He lives in the same state as the travel nurse of the influencer Chantel. However, they are estranged. A little physical distance after breakup can be very beneficial, but these two may still run into each other sometimes. Plus, they have to hear about each other online. People should consider that, what it will be like to break up publicly before they commit to reality TV show stints. It can all backfire. This is true. While the very publicized split was nasty, with restraining orders and cheating allegations and more, there is a silver lining, that the fact that Pedro has moved into the next stage of his life with his fame intact. How he leverages his notoriety is up to him. He's seen as a cold-blooded con artist, however, and a green card hunter who used his pretty face to bewitch and then destroy Chantel. Well, that is quite an edit there. That's too simplistic, though, but Pedro really is no angel either. He and his mother and sister look out for number one. Boy, did we not get to see that often. The ruthlessness in the Jimeno clan is chilling, it's unpleasant, and unattractive. The lack of warmth was always evident in Lydia and Mykol. However, Pedro tended to sheath his claws. When he started freezing out Chantel, though, his talons were no longer attractive. People behave horribly during divorces. It's like being in an altered state. Then things change. Pedro seems like he's doing well now. But Chantel still appears to be a bit rattled after a 90-day, the single life stint that didn't lead to true love. Never the end of the Family Chantel season 2, the couple revealed that they had hoped to have children in their own one day. She had said that I believe right now that we have our goals, and I know that a baby is a blessing, but it needs to be at a good and right time. This is what Pedro had said at the time. Despite the wild family drama, Pedro had spent quality time with Chantel, and ultimately they couldn't make it work, which was probably, obviously, I think for the best. And having children brought into that toxic situation that it did become what had just really been disastrous, I think, for all. They hung in there for 2 more seasons before throwing in the towel in season 5. This look back at an earlier season had showed just how drastic their problems had become, and they seemed like they had a real shot at being happy together at one point anyways. However, their marriage failed spectacularly. Now, Pedro glowing this year apparently, and he's enjoying his life, so good for him. The infamous star boy Pedro, whose perfect teeth and skin were so irresistible to Chantel, is using his looks and charm to get ahead. That's not exactly a crime, and Chantel does exactly the same thing. While she has a lot more Instagram followers and won the divorce due to her authentic heartache, which was truly painful to witness, Pedro is thriving. And in a post that was shared within this article, Pedro was smiling. He looked rested, healthy, and happy. Quite like the picture on my thumbnail. Now, Pedro can't spend the rest of his life apologizing for a relationship that another person also participated in. At some point, people have to grow up and move on. The Family Chantel star is trying to do just that. From Chantel, it may all be much harder. Now, at the end of the day, I know this was really sad. It probably felt like a lot of time wasted at the end. Pedro's family did not seem to be very welcoming and opened at all toward Chantel. It just was bitter and disgusting from the beginning. Quite frankly, they were very hard to watch on TV. I think the drama that ensued really solely from that side of the situation was just really just hard to watch. And, then you had Chantel's family, who are very much family oriented as well, but can probably overstep at times where they shouldn't. But I do feel like they came from a really good place. And I do believe that it was probably they were on the right track with this situation with Pedro. Although Pedro and Chantel may seem that they were really cool in the very beginning stages of 90 Day Fiancé franchise when they first got onto the scene, it really seemed to quickly unravel when things became more to light about his family. There was accusations of some type of like a scamming situation where a group of people would try to find, basically targeted Americans to get over into the United States and get their green cards and then become citizens. And that was a huge issue throughout multiple seasons, as well as leading into from the 90 Day and leading into the Family Chantel showing as well. They even were able to get a couple of spinoff elements in regards to the 90 Day franchise by going to the single life. I didn't really watch it, and that was the one that Lydia was in, which is his mother. I didn't really watch it because she was just nasty for me in the way that she acted and treated Chantel. I just didn't like the disposition, so I wasn't interested. But if you watched it, let me know. I would really be interested, I guess, to the point, not enough to watch it, but interested to know if she was able to find love. From what little bit I saw, it didn't seem like that appeared to happen. Then you have the sister who was also with someone off and on, I think, for a while, that was out of New York, and that didn't work out. That blew up in everybody's face as well. So it's just, when you put out nastiness into the universe, it's truly a true tale that that's what you'll get back. And they really are a good example of that. I think Pedro is probably doing the best he can to try to move forward and get this stench off of him that is what he showed us on the show. So maybe things will work out for him. We'll see. Karma is something though, and it doesn't come away from you just because you just want to start a whole new thing. Is it some issues that they both had problems with? Did he have some valid points? Maybe so, but his treatment of Chantel was really horrific in a lot of ways. And as far as Chantel is concerned, I do hope that she does find love, but I really want her to find herself and her happiness within herself first before she goes outward. She did do, I believe, was the most recent single life for 90 days, and she did meet up with someone that was in Italy. He seemed like it was a good candidate for someone to maybe continue to grow with, but I don't know if they're continued on. It seemed like maybe too much expectation was happening, more or less on Chantel's part, because she really didn't want to be played again, right? And that's understandable. And this is why sometimes you have to just kind of take a step back and do some healing and some work on yourself, so that way you're not, feeling desperate in a new situation, and then it becomes over before it even begins. So I do wish Chantel the best. Hopefully at this point, she is in her early 30s. Her family can kind of give a little bit of space and a little bit of room. And maybe someone just looking out for her, but maybe how their approach is. You don't have to have so many hooves all at one time. But we'll see how this works for her. But Chantel's a beautiful girl. And imagery sometimes is everything. So she will probably do just fine in that department. However, I really think that she is a sweet person, and she does seem to have a really kind heart. And unfortunately, it just didn't work out with her and Pedro. So I do wish the best for them, of course, but I'm glad that this was a relationship that, as unfortunately it started to fall apart pretty early on, I'm glad they were able to get to a point to just kind of move on, because it just wasn't going to go anywhere from here. So, and I think having kids in that union would have just been totally disastrous. So that's just my opinion, and my not so humble opinion at that. So I would love to know your thoughts about Pedro and, the 90-Day franchise as a whole in regards to this coupling. How do you feel? What are your thoughts about Chantel's family? I know some people feel like her family was way too involved. And I would say, yeah, there's a lot of times that their delivery was just that. So let me know your thoughts. And if you watch the show, if you like the show, I would sure like to know. So let's go ahead and move on to our next story. And that is going to be on, yes, you know who she is. The one and only, infamous or not. Now we're talking Angela Deem, and actually in this particular share, we're going to be covering the rumors that seem to address her possibly being fired from 90 days, which, if that is what ends up happening, I would not be surprised, because she's most certainly given enough reason for that to happen. Let's get into this story. Now, according to Ministers and Critics. Is it Ministers or Ministers and Critics, or Monsters? I think it's Monsters and Critics. It'll be down in the description box. Angela Deem addresses rumors that she was fired from 90 Day Fiancé, and although she just says that they treated me good. Now, Angela Deem recently had sparked rumors that she was cutting ties with the 90 Day Fiancé franchise. The 57-year-old Hazelhurst, Georgia native told her fans and followers that following season 8 of Happily Ever After, she was leaving reality TV behind. Now, instead, Angela had teased that she would be trading 90 Day Fiancé fame for acting, as Monsters and Critics previously reported. There you go, Monsters and Critics. Listen after this season, bye-bye, Angela claimed earlier this year, adding that she will not be participating in the next season of 90 Day, The Single Life, despite rumors to the contrary. Yeah, I remember I told you I'm going to be in a movie, Angela added. In addition to Angela hinting that she was through with the 90 Day Fiancé franchise, some viewers deduced that she may have been fired. Now, rumors have circulated about Angela Deem getting fired from 90 Day Fiancé franchise. So, Angela and her husband, Mykol, storyline didn't debut until episode 10 in season 8 of 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After, which is where they're in right now, leading many to believe that she got the boot. Others believe that Angela's reported split from Mykol meant she would no longer be filming for 90 Day Fiancé. But clearly that wasn't the case, and now after her latest update, it appears she isn't going anywhere anytime soon either. Angela says she's still with TLC. Now, Angela recently went live on TikTok, and the footage was shared by 90 Day Fiancé News in a video captioned, Angela Deem's reality TV career will continue despite her being dumped by Mykol. In her video, Angela told her fans, I'm still with TLC. I am. Now, Angela continued noting that she's replaceable, adding, so are they, seemingly referring to the network and or production company. I'm loyal. They've treated me good. I love sharp entertainment. I just do, Angela added. Yes, some things don't look right, but listen, we're all grown here, and that's what I made a choice to do, and I'm doing okay, she continued. Now, Angela does give mixed messages about the future of her career in reality TV. Now, last month, apparently Angela had hinted that she wasn't ready to hang up her reality TV career just yet. In the comment section of her Instagram post, one of Angela's critics had wrote she had finished no more TV for her people. She's finished. No more TV for her. People have spoken. Thank you, God, for that. Okay. Now, in response, Angela fired back, wanna bet? So now Angela may not be prepping to film for 90 Day, The Single Life, but there are plenty of other spinoff options she could be looking into, such as season 2 of The Last Resort or a future season of Happily Ever After. Whatever the case may be between Angela and the 90 Day Fiancé franchise, however, fans of the series have made it abundantly clear that they've seen enough of her antics on television. And I would definitely co-sign on that, because there's been a lot of things, and I think this season has been especially challenging and difficult to watch. I have not watched it myself, but I have seen a lot of commentary in regards to it, and I've seen some of the average for it, and I just feel like enough is enough. So at the end of the day, what she could do in this continued form, I don't really know. Now, she was on one of the spinoffs, which was the Pillow Talk, and Pillow Talk has been going on for quite some time, and she actually was on Pillow Talk so for a few seasons. That's one aspect, where they're basically just reviewing the episodes within the 90 Day franchise for everyone they're watching. Naturally, it probably would be Happily Ever After. There's several of them. That's one aspect. The only way I could see them doing The Last Resort is that they're kind of doing a part 2, and that just kind of ends the situation with her and Mykol. But we would have probably, at that time, if that was to happen, we have already known that Mykol has been kind of off and doing his own thing. So we would already know the end result, unless he changed his mind at the last minute. And I don't know if that would ever happen. There's been a lot of wild accusations that Angela has put out there about Mykol, whether true or not. They're also alleged at this point. She's threatened, and the fact that she's got a $10,000, I think, an hour lawyer. So she's ready to kind of put it into this situation. So I don't see where she could move forward in that particular franchise either. So I guess we'll just have to see what come may. But let's go ahead and get into the next story, and let's talk about her daughter's take on their relationship, which you probably won't be too surprised at some of the things that she shares and her feelings about the situation. So let's get on into that story. And it's according to people.com. They are sharing that Angela's daughter thinks Mykol will drag the family through hell, and Jasmine questions her future with Gino. Now, Mykol is filing in the U.S., as we all know, after a 7-year wait, but Angela's daughter, Skyla, has some big questions, and Jasmine and Gino are more on the rocks than ever. Mykol is filing in the U.S., and Jasmine got her crown, but the 90 Day Fiancé stars still have their hands full trying to keep their relationships afloat. On the Sunday, July 14th episode of Happily Ever After, Angela's daughter, Skyla, had shared that she really thinks about Mykol getting his visa and arriving in the U.S. Now, while Jasmine found herself questioning whether she can see a future with Gino anymore. Now, during a visit to a restaurant, Skyla told her mom and Mykol that they have a big communication issue, as she got real about the problems in their marriage. I mean, y'all act like y'all don't understand each other. Last night, shocked me, not just because he's here, but, acting all happy like nothing's happened, like your marriage wasn't completely on the rocks before you came over here, Skyla had said, referring to the ups and downs of Angela faced in the Ivory Coast with Mykol. In a confessional, Skyla had said she thinks Angela doesn't want to be proved wrong. She is doing everything she can to make this relationship to work, and she's scared of embarrassment. She's scared that everybody was right about Mykol, Skyla said. At the table, she had told her stepfather, it's not about me trusting you. I mean, Mama might forgive you, but I'm going to be honest. I mean, I'm not as forgiving because I really don't care. I want Mama to be happy, and I can accept you as family. I can, but at the end of the day, when you drag her through hell, you're dragging the whole family through hell. Skyla continued, before warning, I'm not as nice as her. In a confessional, Mykol said that he just wanted Angela's family to trust him. He says, I'm trying so hard, but I do realize I need to work more harder than the way that I need to in order to convince Skyla that I'm here for the right reason. Yeah, I think that ship has really definitely has sailed. I really do. Now, moving on to Jasmine and Gino, meanwhile, um, they say that we're facing issues of their own as she was crowned one of the winners of Miss International World Pageant. Well, good for her. Congratulations. I hope it was all worth it. She says, I cannot even put into words how much this beauty pageant means to me. It's so inspirational. Honestly, I feel very blessed, she said in a confessional. But this is the thing. It sucks going back to Michigan because Gino and I need to talk over our issues, which gives me a lot of anxiety and it scares me. I don't know what the future holds for Gino and me. Later, she had accused her husband of making her feel like she is never good enough. I am very proud of myself, but I cannot pretend that this is a happy moment because I was so sad last night after all the things you said to me and your freaking behavior, pointing out once again that I am the problem. The way it seems to me is that you're always trying to put me down, she told Gino. And then the audacity you had to be in the first row when I won my crown, you pretending that you were the lovely husband who's proud of his wife. Things got even more heated when Gino brought up Jasmine's application to be a permanent U.S. resident, as she thought he had submitted the paperwork weeks ago. Gino. I don't believe anything that is coming out of his mouth anymore, she said in a confessional. I don't know why Gino would be surprised with that, but here's the kicker. I don't think he is surprised. Gino to me seems like he's extremely tired, very, very tired. And it's unfortunate because it seems like she was like kind of his dream girl, that being Jasmine, until the dream became much more reality. And now it seems like they're both living a nightmare, right? It just doesn't seem like it's really working. I don't know if this is going to really last beyond too much more time or too much more seasons. I get that, sometimes you may have a lot of complications that first year or two of marriage, but this is out of control between the two of them. And they've been fiery since they were dating, with one issue after another, after another, after another. There's so many to list, since I won't do it all in this video. But I just will wonder to see if they will actually be able to make it past this season, for that matter, let alone maybe even the tell-all that I believe is probably starting this weekend. I'm not really 100% sure, but I may check that out. But yeah, let's hope for the best for both of them. But congratulations to Jasmine, nevertheless, because, I could see her doing a beauty pageant, and I could see that being something that would really be right up there for the accomplishments for her. I do hope that things are going well with her children, because I know that was a contentious situation between the two as far as him bringing the kids over here. But now knowing that he didn't submit the paperwork for her to even really consider her permanency here, it's going to be much more time that's going to be there for her kids to come over as well. So yeah, I don't know about this situation, but at the end of the day, she's getting a lot of airtime and she's becoming very much a household name within the franchise, I'm sure. So there you have it. It's an opportunity, and she's probably going to live it to the fullest, and so she should. So with that, I would love to know your thoughts, because I think that's about does it for this particular sharing and this story. But let me know your thoughts about any of the 90 Day Fiance couplings as well, in addition to the ones that I've shared today in this story, if you'd like, in the comment section below. If you're watching the 90 Day franchise Happily Ever After, let me know. I think the tell-all is coming up this weekend, like I shared earlier. So if it is and you plan on watching, let me know. Yeah, let's comment. Let's communicate about that in the comment section below. How do you feel about Pedro? If you were watching and you're familiar with them, do you think that, hey, look, it was about time for this union to split so they can go and find their happiness elsewhere? Love to know your thoughts about them, the show itself, the family Chantel as well. Leave those down in the comment section below. And also too, Angela and Mykol, what's there really to say? But definitely you can throw your thoughts down there. Do you think that she's actually done with 90 days? I wonder if this is going to be finally the straw that brought the camel back, because there were some things that happened within the show at dinner, and I think concerning some kind of projectiles from her mouth, and so I really wasn't going to watch all of that because it just so I do believe she's going to be on the tell-all, because I did see some commercials for it. So we'll see what happens with that bit of preview that they did share, if she will continue on from this point, and maybe there'll be more explanation for that disgustingness as well. Because at the end of the day, it's just been on and on and on to the break of dawn when it comes to Angela and Mykol. So Yeah, that being said, go ahead and leave all your comments down below. I do have another video that will be up on deck shortly as well. So definitely make sure you have your all notification bell on so you will not miss that video. But I do hope that you enjoyed this one. And if you did, please go ahead and leave a like if you haven't already on your way out. And of course, if you are new here and you haven't yet subscribed, I hope that you will subscribe and be part of the family because I would love to have you. And of course, thank you all for your viewing support. And until next time, I think I will bid you adieu. Bye.